Hi, everybody. I wanted to introduce you to these stories. Who were Tuskegee Airmen? You may not have read these in a while, but these are some of my favorite ways to quickly gather facts that are true and informational about things that have happened around the world. And one of my favorites is this one here. Who were the Tuskegee Airmen? So we're going to take a few chapters out of here and just dig into them once in a while. So I've got a chapter for you today, and look and listen. It's amazing, this story. I love it. And we're going back to January 20th, 1945. And it says, who were the Tuskegee Airmen? The plane was not going to make it back to the airfield in Italy. U.S. Airman Larry Fleischer shivered inside the B-24 bomber as it limped through the skies. World War II had been raging for more than 5 years. In late 1941, the United States has joined with England, Canada, and other countries to defeat Nazi Germany and its allies. B-24s played a major role in winning the war. Fleischer's plane, however, had been hit while dropping bombs on a Nazi airbase in Austria. 2 of the engines were out. The bombing doors in the belly of the plane were jammed open. Fleischer had already lost a boot trying to unstick the doors. Now he was afraid he might lose his foot to frostbite. The plane needed to land soon, but where? Down below, the Italian coast was fast approaching. Fleischer and the rest of his crew scouted for a safe landing area. It was the co-pilot who found the best hope. He spotted the airfield, but it was not one that showed up on their charts. We were really expecting it to be a German field, because it wasn't on our maps. If it were true, the pilot and the crew would be taken prisoners, but there was no other choice. The pilot carefully brought the plane in for a landing and saw that this was no German base. The runway was lined with American planes, splashes of crimson paint marked with P-51 Mustangs as red tails. These fighter planes were famous for protecting American borders and enemy skies. The Red Tails had saved Fleischer and his crew on more than one bombing mission. As another crewman put it, these were our lifesavers. Fleischer and his crew were so relieved. Whew. They went out to greet the approaching soldiers, eagerly to finally meet the Red Tails face to face instead of in the air. What they saw was a surprise of their lives. These are all black guys, Fleischer remembered thinking. It was a complete shock. Why was it so surprising to see black pilots in 1945? Fleischer was a white guy from New York. His entire crew of 10 men, was all white. The only black people Fleischer had ever seen in the Army were cooks and waiters until now. The Red Tails weren't just combat pilots, they were famous Tuskegee Airmen. They were the first airplane pilots of color in the U.S. military. Military means the armed forces of a nation. But to Fleischer and all of his white crew, their existence was more secret than the atom bomb. Dun, dun, dun. All right, chapter 2 is going to tell us a little bit more, but that's for next time. And you can see how they used the charts to find a landing spot, and it was a surprise because it wasn't on the charts. So these were hidden people doing great things.